Today's show is brought to you by State Farm agent Brian McDevitt. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm, home and auto insurance, save an average of $889. State Farm agent Brian McDevitt is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. Call Brian today at 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Or visit his website, ryanismyagent.com. That's ryanismyagent.com, and make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I think the world's ending. That's the only logical explanation for me agreeing with Matt Nagy. For those of you who are new to the channel or the radio program, I did not like the way Matt Nagy treated Mitch Trubisky, and I wasn't afraid to say it. How was it okay to essentially sabotage Mitch? To mess around with the playbook? To take play calling duties away, then bring them back and go back and forth all year last year, and have people wondering at the end of the year who was calling the plays, to not cater to his strengths, to essentially force him out of town. I did not like that, nor should you have. A lot of people tolerated it. I didn't. I told you from the beginning, this is wrong. He was hired to make Mitch better. They brought him in because he said, I'm a quarterback guru, I could do it, and he did it. Not because Mitch wasn't talented, but because he chose, I don't really want to. I detest that attitude. I didn't like him saying Bill Lazor will call plays, then turn around and say, well, actually, we've kind of both been calling them the past couple of games. But he said he gave the playbook away, so he lied. Don't like that. So believe me when I say that it's pretty shocking that for once, I agree with Matt Nagy. I want to make sure you understand that before I come out and say what he talked about. He was referring to the quarterback one situation. Who would start week one for the Bears right now? Quote, Nagy reiterated on Sunday that veteran Andy Dalton is the starter at the moment and is going to get the 1 reps once the team opens up OTAs next week. Here's what Nagy had to say. I know that time is the biggest question right now for Justin, and I completely understand that because there is an excitement. There is that want for all of us to see what Justin could do. We'd be lying to you if we didn't say that or believe that. But we've got to make sure as we go through this thing, we also do what's best for the Bears and for Justin. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't believe he said that, but he did. He said what I've been saying. He said what some other people have been saying. Other people who have gotten eviscerated for it. But it's the truth. And for the last time, do not take this as an attack on Fields. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm the one defending him. I'm the one looking out for him. I'm looking out for him by saying, don't rush him. There's no need to. Oh, but he's different than Mitch out of college. I don't care. Whether he's different, whether he's more talented, the point being, this is the National Football League. This isn't Big Ten football facing Rutgers and beating them 58-0. This is the NFL. I had Randy Mueller on the program last week. Ryan Pace's former boss, the 2000 NFL Executive of the Year. What did he say? Sit him. Wait till halfway through the season. Wait the full year if you have to. Make sure he's developed. Make sure he's NFL ready. You could say he has intangibles. You could say talented football player, that's great. The NFL is a different animal. This isn't college. But he had more reps than Mitch and Trey Lance. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you have the opportunity as an organization to truly develop somebody, you do it. Saw people say, well, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, they're not developing. No, and that's a problem. That's going to hurt them long term. You know, when the Jaguars got Lawrence, their Vegas odds didn't move. They're still only expected to win 4 or 5 games. How do you think that's going to affect a rookie quarterback? His psyche. Going from national championship contender, winning 14 games a year, going undefeated, to losing at that level. How do you think that affects him mentally? Same with Zach Wilson. You're going to the New York Jets. Good luck. We saw what happened to Sam Darnold. I'm not saying Darnold's good. I still don't think he's talented, but the situation didn't help him. Doesn't anybody see this? So for the last time, for those of you who keep saying the same thing over and over again, oh, he should start game 1. Oh, Lawrence, Wilson, they're playing. Why shouldn't Fields? Because the Bears don't have to play him. They don't have to. They're not in that position. They have time. They're privileged enough to have time to develop him. Not every team could say that. The Jets, desperate. Jaguars, desperate. Bears, not so much. I'm not saying Andy Dalton is the best choice. I'm not saying they're going to win games with Andy Dalton. But they have a veteran ready to play game 1, who's been in the league 10 plus years, 30,000 plus passing yards, 5 playoff appearances. Let him start for now. Even Mueller said when we talked on this program, go back and listen to the interview. He said, if the Bears are around 500 by Thanksgiving, make a move. If you want to push for the playoffs and you feel like you could get there, then you make the switch. You don't do it right away. Fields is not ready yet. You could say he has talent, but it's not insulting to say he's not ready. The NFL is a different animal. Different game, different pace, different everything. Fields was surrounded by talent at Ohio State, and he faced teams that simply weren't good. I understand he has talent here, but none of it's proven yet. Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, David Montgomery. Great. What else? Everyone else is a rookie. Everybody else has everything to prove. And the defense is regressing, contrary to popular opinion. It is. They're getting older. They weren't what they were in 2018. They've gotten worse and worse ever since. We can't just ignore that. If I hear one more person tell me I'm anti-Justin Fields or put words in my mouth saying I said he'd be a bust, I don't know what I'll do, but it's ridiculous. So protecting somebody means I don't believe in them. That's the way we're going with this. Protecting somebody means I believe they're going to be a bust. Okay. Just want to make sure. The Bears are in a good position. They're fortunate enough to not have to start them game 1. They're not that desperate. They're not Jacksonville. They're not New York. San Francisco's doing the same thing. I don't see anyone saying a word. Oh, Trey Lance threw less passes. Who cares? It's the NFL. It's the freaking NFL. This is different than college. Whether you like it or not, it is. They still have Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll play a year. They'll develop Lance. He'll be ready next year. Fields, same thing with the Bears. They have Dalton, maybe halfway through the year or next year, Fields makes his debut. There's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't mean I don't believe in Fields. It means he needs time to develop. And the best course of action long term, which no one's thinking about long term, is to make sure he develops properly. Rushing him out there when he's not ready will not help anybody. It won't. And I ask this again, how do you think those quarterbacks who went to those bad teams are going to deal with all these losses? I'm serious. You go from Clemson to the Jacksonville Jaguars. How do you think Trevor Lawrence will deal with all that adversity? And if he doesn't, he's a bust, right? Because he was put in a bad position. But yet, no one says Sam Darnold's a bust for being in that position. Which is it? See? Everybody just wants to talk about what fits their narrative versus looking at everything objectively. That's why I'm here. I'm the only one who's been doing that. I know the fan in you wants him to start. Trust me, it'll be better for you, for me, for everybody long term if you wait till he's ready. Oh, he's ready right now. I know it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Hasn't played a game yet. You know who is ready right now? Andy Dalton. He is. Because he has NFL experience. You know what you're going to get. May not be great, but you know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get out of Fields. And if you put him in too early, if you rush him, and he doesn't succeed, that's going to be a very tough mental barrier for him moving forward. Look at what happened to Mitch. I understand Mitch wasn't as talented, but the fact remains that when he went in 2017, the team was horrible. John Fox ruined him initially, learned under Mike Lennon, never threw the football, and had 7 touchdowns, 7 picks. Do you think that scarred him or no? Oh yeah, that was positive for him, right? I'll never forgive Matt Nagy for the way he treated Mitch, but I am happy that he's trying to be better with Justin Fields. That's a big admission from me, but I got to give the guy credit where it's due. He understands, he knows. He knows Fields should not be rushed. There's no need to. Let's say the Bears didn't draft Justin Fields. We were expecting what? 5 or 6 wins? Probably a rebuild. Instead, we have hope. But we still expected 5 or 6 wins had Fields not been drafted. What's the difference then in waiting a year, having them win 5 or 6 games, and then starting Fields year 2 when he's ready? I don't understand it. Everybody wants something now. Give it to me now. It's not necessary. If you care enough about Fields and about the long-term product that the Bears put on the field, then you know it's not right to start him game 1, and it's not right to rush him out there for everyone else's entertainment. That's a fact. You may not like it. You want Fields today, and that's fine, and everybody's giddy about it. But if you wait, you'll be happier. Do you want Fields to start game 1, or do you want a Super Bowl? I'm asking. If you want a Super Bowl, shouldn't start game 1. If you want a franchise quarterback who's going to be on this team for 10, 15 years, longer, shouldn't start game one. That's the simple fact of the matter. And to me, it's very, very shocking that nobody understands this. No one gets it. I don't know why. Why is this such a hard concept to grasp for people? The best way to go is to have him wait. Let him develop. Why rush? Why rush him out there? What benefit does that serve? Oh, get his experience and his reps. Right, so he could turn into a broken quarterback after 5 games. Like Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky. Right? That's what we want? That's what everybody wants? That's what we agreed upon? No, we didn't. It's always horrible to see a quarterback fail because of an environment. Look at Josh Rosen. I'm not saying Rosen is talented, but you have to admit, his rookie year, rookie head coach, no weapons, no talent around him, went 3-13, got traded, he's never played again. You could say he's not talented, sure, but you have to admit that situation did not help him whatsoever. Sam Darnold and the Jets. I don't think Sam Darnold's talented, but the situation didn't help him. Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville. Zach Wilson, Jets. What are we going to say? They're busts next year? The national champion, Trevor Lawrence, is going to be a bust because he's not putting up big numbers in Jacksonville? Come on. The Bears are in a position to let Fields develop and put him in when the team is ready and when he's ready. Why is that a big deal to people? Why is that a problem? Why does this have to be so divisive? Don't you want the best for him? All of you were so happy about the Bears getting a franchise quarterback. Do you want what happened to Mitch? Do you want that? If you really like him, if you think he's the next franchise guy, you would do whatever you could to make sure it worked out okay. Starting him game one, it's not going to help anybody. Then the argument is, oh, well, if he doesn't work, if he can't take the heat, then he's a bust. No, not a bust. It's called he was rushed, bad situation, didn't work out. Not a bust. He is a hard worker. Jamarcus Russell, bust. Didn't work hard. If he worked hard and the situation was what it was, I'd say, you know what? Not necessarily a bust because he tried his best. Not his fault the situation was bad. But he didn't. Ryan Leaf, bust. Didn't try his best. Didn't care. Lost out. Sam Darnold, not a bust. Bad situation, and now broken. Mitch Trubisky, not a bust. Bad situation, no help, broken. There's a difference between a broken quarterback and a bust of a quarterback. There is. So let's think about that before we come out and say, put in Fields. Let him develop. And I guarantee you, you won't regret that decision. Teach him the right way. Let him learn the playbook. Don't rush it into his head. And have it work out okay. This has the potential to be great for the Bears. But if you rush him, if you make him uncomfortable, if you cave in to public opinion, to media opinion, and you don't do what's best for the team, what's best for him, that's when your problem starts. Till then, everything will be fine. He does have the potential to be a great starting quarterback. But if you rush him, if you treat him like Mitch, if you treat him poorly, if you don't let him develop, He'll be what everyone else calls a bust. I'll say he's another broken quarterback. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Scott Merkin comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. Must be 21 plus, must be an Illinois resident. You can bet $250 free on any game you want for this upcoming weekend. Cubs and White Sox are going strong. The NBA playoffs have come up. And yes, you can bet Bears prop bets. How many games will Justin Fields play? Do you think the Bears will actually abide by my advice? You could go bet on all that right now and make a whole lot of money. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. sportstalkchicago.com/cash. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.